Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's NFL Week 5. There are questions. There are a lot of questions. I'm Spitface. Please welcome our host, the First Lady of Sports Talk, Cheryl Smith. Questions.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, there's a lot of questions what's going on in the NFL, and also we'll be talking about it later. The WNBA set the world on fire, but you know what I'm excited about today, Spitface? My New York Knicks are going to be doing a preseason game in Dubai, and I'm going to watch it today. So I'm very, very excited about that.
Oh, Dubai.
They're in Dubai.
Yeah. Tea and crumpets for everyone. This week on Shout Out, we have performances from Rosalyn. Will she find her shining star or get the cold feel of the butt? First Lady, we're ready. What you saying?
Each week, we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world, not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we asked, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdies known as WNBA and Commissioner Kathy Engelbert wish they could fly far, far, far away from the explosive comments by Nafisa Collier. Collier said, "We have the worst leadership." Collier had been criticizing the WNBA officiating, and Engelbert allegedly told her, "Only the losers complain about the refs." Are the players in the WNBA getting the message? Who runs this plantation? Are they going to need to fight for their rights like their brothers in the NFL and NBA? George Foreman, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, both rest in peace. Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr., and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Oh, I mean, yes. I mean, I'm going to just say this. Nafisa Collier's statement about Kathy Engelbert basically disrupted the Game 5 of the WNBA semifinal matches between Las Vegas Aces and the Indiana Fever. I mean, I was very excited about the game. I watched the game. It was a very good game. But those statements, which happened earlier during her exit interview, and she just came out with that statement, and it really set the world apart, to be honest with you, because everybody in sports was talking about it. Now, the one thing she said, she definitely said worst leadership, but another quote she had stated that really resonated with me, she said, the real threat to our league isn't money, it isn't ratings, or even missed calls, or even physical play. It's the lack of accountability from the league's office. It is apparent that Collier, she's been really holding this in. She had so much disdain for Kathy Engelbert, and she's been obviously holding it in for a while. I don't know if you remember, she's a very, very popular player who has a lot of power within the league because she and Brianna Stewart, who plays for the New York Liberty, they created the Unrivaled League during the WNBA offseason, and that league was just implemented this past summer, and it's a 3-on-3 league, and it was very, very successful. And one of the reasons why she did that was for players to make more money, and obviously for players not to have to go overseas, so they didn't have to deal with what Brittany Griner had and the problems in Russia. So, so she's very educated. She's a very intelligent person who really cares about the league. So when she talks, the league listens and people listen. She has a lot of credibility. And unfortunately, the players are getting the message, but they are speaking out against Engelbert's plantation mentality. I mean, that's basically, if you want to call it, she she basically is oblivious and is kind of like tone deaf to some of the issues that are going, that's going on in the WNBA. I mean, I don't know if you remember Spitface when there was all those racist remarks that was being surrounded around Angel Reese and the racial undertones involving Caitlin Clark, fans, and it was all being played out on social media. Well, Kathy Engelbert, she did a interview on CNBC, and the reporter was asking her, basically saying, there's that dark and menacing problem on the internet. Basically, she was talking about the racial situation on social media. And do you want to know how Kathy responded to that? She said, the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody to be nice to one another. Again, this woman obviously is oblivious to the situations that was going on. And then she later on, after people went berserk regarding those statements she made, because basically she just totally ignored what the young lady was trying to say. So basically, she went on X later to clarify her statement. She said, to be clear, there is actually no place for hate or racism of any kind in the WNBA or anywhere else. But this is what Collier is talking about and feels, and a lot of the players. She does not bring leadership. She fails to address the players' needs, and she is basically, according to the players, is an obstacle to this league moving forward. And this is the reason why Nafisa came out and spoke about this and brought basically, information from conversation that she's privately had with Kathy Engelbert. And you, as some of those situations where she was talking about Caitlin Clark needs to be thankful that she has that money that she was receiving from her endorsement. She would have never received that. This is what she's saying. This woman basically, she thinks she's running this league, and she's the one who's created all of this excitement for the WNBA. So, the thing is, they have a major deadline. The current collective bargaining agreement expires October 31st of this year. So the league and the players are oceans apart. And the WNBA definitely has seen immense growth with ratings, attendance this season. They've expanded. They're going to expand from 12 to 18 teams by 2013. Now, Engelbert, this is what I'm saying, like she's running the plantation. She basically thinks she's responsible for the growth of this league, because one of the things she said, they need to be thanking her for the new media rights deal that's going to be worth $200 million and is going to start next season. So, the bottom line, she is part of the reason the WNBA has grown, but she's not the main reason. Again, she needs to understand the players are the product. Most of these commissioners, they believe, they believe in putting their players forefront. Their players are the reason the league grows. That's one of the things Adam Silver does, with the NBA. They promote the players, promote them, because they know that's what fans comes out to see. They don't come out to see Kathy Engelbert. They come out to see Nafisa Collier. They come out to see Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. These are the players that they want to see. So, she needs to understand that she is just a very small cog in the wheel. And the thing is, too, after her comments not after her comments, but after what Nafisa Collier said, there's a very strong, internet movement, and people are they're calling for her firing, Spitface, They want this woman to be gone. And I have a feeling the players do too. And so they really need to look into the situation because, you know, these women are more than likely to go on strike because, like I said, they are oceans apart. And it will not be good for the league, you know, now that people are watching and paying attention. However, we know from their brothers in the NBA and the NFL, sometimes you have to just do it and strike. Now, in the NFL, you know, they fall apart very quickly. They usually don't make good common sense with their striking. They came up with some bad situations, and they gave up a lot. But the NBA brothers, they definitely know how to strike. So, you know, I'm quite sure the players in the WNBA will look out, you know, get some feedback from the players in the NBA. So, you know, this is going to be an ongoing thing. And I just see right now, I think Adam Silver is the one who's really in charge, really, I think he's also over the WNBA, even though Engelbert is the commissioner, but Silver has a lot to say. I have a feeling, I don't know. I don't think she's going to last long. I really don't think she's going to last long. But yeah, she has that plantation mentality, and you know, it does need to come to an end. All right, Spitface, what are you thinking about this?
Sometimes you gotta fight for your rights, and it looks like all of this is happening for one reason. It's happening for one reason, and that one reason is money. Money. And First Lady, when you say that they are oceans apart, there's no ocean to be apart from unless it's money. And that is the bottom line. Now, the NBA caught on early that the era of the team was declining and the era of the player was ascending. So they looked and they said, you know what? We can have a lousy team, but if there's one superstar on that team, we can still be profitable. And on top of that, we can make money. Well, that is what profitable is. But we can make more money than if we focused on this losing team. And when they got that, they said, whoa, it's still about the money. But you know what? Since we got all this money coming in, we'll huff and puff and, and try to make the, best deal that we can get for ourselves. And we'll let them try to get the best deal we can get for ourselves. But we know that we want to promote these superstars. So it's a whole lot of latitude. Now, the NBA commissioners, because it wasn't just one, when they got that, everything started growing for them. And they were like, you know what? Well, we got it. Now, the NFL and Major League Baseball were a little bit slower because they were entrenched. And the plantation mentality in the NFL is still entrenched. It's still entrenched. Smeekers can do a saying. And a few other players, they'll let you know it's entrenched, baby. But they have said, hey, you know what? Most teams are not going to make it to the playoffs. Most teams are not going to make it to the Super Bowl. So we gotta, for these markets, if they got that star player and we hype that star player, it's worth it to them. So they expanded and growing. The WNBA is in a situation that those other leagues were in maybe about 30 years ago, where it was like, we getting ready to make that move, where the big money and explosion is coming in. And basically, the WNBA has said, look, we want to make sure we got to let these players know that we run the show. We own the team. And, y'all going to make money, but we're going to dictate how that's going to happen. And I'll say maybe, maybe that NBA commissioner will have a little influence and say, you know what, that model ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. And what's going to work is y'all need to work out something where these ladies start making big money so that they can promote, which is going to promote the league. And do it now, and you'll make the money earlier. But First Lady, it's all about Mr. Dollar Bill. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Dollar Bill. Well, just dollar bill, baby. That's what I'm saying, First Lady. It's all about the money.
All right. Well, it is about money, and I guess that's why, the Kathy Engelbert is being such, not basically giving in to the players because, last year the WNBA was expected to lose about $40 million, $40 to $50 million in 2024. Now, is that because of the players? No. That could be just bad business dealing from Miss Kathy Engelbert. That is, in the league and the teams. So, that's what it could be about, and the players shouldn't be hurt by that because, like you said, when that new media rights deal goes into effect the next year, they need to get a piece of that pie. So, it's going to be a battle, and we'll see. But Engelbert, I don't know if she's going to be able to survive this latest problems and situation with the FISA Collier. I don't understand. I just don't see how she survives it. But anyway, we will be keeping our eyes on that. All right, Spitface, over to you.
All right, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom. Explosion, overpowering over the competition, I'm towering. Reckon shout when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that'll all get sliced and diced. Competition and the price. I'm gonna knock you out, huh? Mama said knock you out, huh? We are talking about the knockout punch by the Chiefs to the Ravens, 37-20, and it wasn't that close. Is it time to stick a fork in the Ravens? Is that bird done? The Ravens stepped into the dimension beyond our senses. Are they in the twilight zone? Is beating a discombobulated Ravens team a sign the Chiefs have got their mojo back? Are there dark clouds ahead? Leroy Satchel Page, Walter Buck Leonard, and James, my man, Cool Papa Bell, are asking what you say. First Lady, I'm looking at the Ravens, and I'm a little bit mystified and bewildered. I'm like, what is going on? It's like we can't play defense. We can't play offense. I don't know. I do not know what they did in the off season, what they did, off the field or whatever. But it's just these are not the Ravens that I've been used to over many, many years. I mean, that they've had some I'll just say some poor seasons. but there was always a certain bite, either that defense was going to be hard hitting or, and it's just someone just sucked the air out of it. And, unfortunately for them, that bird might be kind of toasty. Take it on out the oven, stick a fork in it, there's a strong chance this bird is done. Lamar is hurt. It is what it is. But one thing before the season I said was this is not going to be your ordinary season. It's going to be some flips, some flops, some crazy turnarounds this year. This is the year. I mean, we could just see stuff at, the race to the end is not settled right now. I'll just say that it's going to be some nope. The first time in NFL history, a team with such and such it's all set up. We're gonna have a fun, crazy season. Now, beating the discombobulated Ravens, and I put it like this: the Chiefs kind of look like whatever they didn't get. Well, I don't know. They might have got beat. They might be in that twilight zone with the Ravens. Because I ain't buying that they got their mojo back. I am not buying it. As a matter of fact, this may be a peak and valley season for the Chiefs, where they win a few, lose a few. Win a few, lose a few. And so I still think that, whatever's going on with the Chiefs has not been ironed out, and this just may not be their year. This may just not be their year. And that's part of it's going to be crazy. Well, what seems like it's the clear winners might end up being battling to get a wild card spot. So it's going to be an exciting season. First Lady, is that Ravens bird done?
Well, it's almost finished cooking, but it's near there. I mean, they basically they're 1-3 for the first time since 2015. I mean, 1-3, and they've lost to some tough teams. The Chiefs, they got blown. It was a blowout against the Chiefs. They lost to the Bills in Week 1. Lost to Detroit in Week 3. The only team they beat was the Cleveland Browns, and now they're right with the Cleveland Browns at the bottom of the AFC North. And they're struggling, and they have a lot of injuries. Spitface to the key players now. Lamar Jackson has a hamstring injury. They have. Let's see. They got what's his name? I can't pronounce it. I'm just going to call it defensive tackles. Namdi Madabuki. I can't pronounce his name. And Washington Jr. The linebacker Roquan Smith, cornerback Marlon Humphrey. They all have injuries, and Namdi is out for the entire season. And they still got, they still have a very tough schedule. When you finish, on the top, you come up, the NFL give you a hard schedule. And they got to face the Steelers twice, Minnesota, Green Bay Packers. They got to face the Browns again. So they are struggling. They are struggling with the injuries. And also I've noticed their offense has been an issue. Derrick Henry hasn't been as explosive as he was before. He had that one great game, but basically hasn't played well for the other games. And I'm not putting everything on him, but his threat offensively really assists Lamar, because we know Lamar I mean, even though they said he has a great passing percentage and everything, but he's not known for really passing. He's known for his rushing ability, which he's a dual threat. And with the fact that Henry really hasn't been spectacular this year, I think that's kind of hindered Lamar and a lot of teams. That's why he's been sacked so many times. Of course, their offensive line really hasn't been that great. But the problem really the real main problem for the Ravens, it's their defense. This is not Ravens defense. Ray Lewis would be really, really upset if he saw the Ravens defense this year. I mean, right now, the Ravens are ranked 31st in total yards allowed and 27th against the run. We know the Ravens always have had an excellent defense. So with the fact that they've got injuries, the offense is kind of shaky, and now they can't stay in the game because of the defense, and they're giving up a lot of points. It's going to be, it's a problem. It's a major problem, and the Buffalo Bills are just rolling along. Obviously, they are the cream of the AFC conference. I mean, you say you don't have faith in the Chiefs. Well, I have faith in the Chiefs. I think they turned the corner. So, they turned the corner. So, who did they play? They played the Cowboys, right? Who did they? No, I forgot who did the Chiefs play last week. Anyway, I forgot who they played. They just took it to them. No, it wasn't the Cowboys. I forgot the team. But anyway, I think right now the Ravens, they got two matchups. The next two games are against the Houston Texans, who are basically getting their act together a little bit, and the Los Angeles Rams. And they've been on point right now. If they don't win at least one of those games, Spitface, then you definitely can stick a fork in them because they will be done for the season. I don't even think they would make the wild card. They definitely wouldn't make their division because I think the Steelers would win that division. So, they got a tough schedule, and they got the next two games. They have to win one of those games. So, if they don't, we're talking about it's over. It's definitely over.
And who did the Ravens play last week? The Chiefs?
That's who they played, the Chiefs. I forgot who they played. They got blown out, right?
Who they walloped.
That's right, they got walloped by the Chiefs. Yeah, that's right. But they better win one of those two games.
But I put it like this first thing. Definitely, if they lose the next two games, it's time to work on pride. and you might as well start putting in some of the second, third stringers, getting folks out there, see what folks gonna do. Because okay, all right, First Lady, you have the last word. Please take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, we have a performance from Rosalyn on Shout Out Part 1.
Go Ravens! The music flows in from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Rosalyn.
On Shout Out, we featured new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. On the first part of Shout Out, we are featuring music from Rosalyn and her hit album, I Love the Music. They say, quote, my music is a bit R&B mixed with pop and neo-soul. They feel the feel can be a little old school mixed with new school. I'm influenced by so much that I tried to sprinkle it in my musical style. All right, let's hit, this neo soul, R&B, and pop mix song. I love the music.
So much to take in. It's the sound I wanted to begin my song and turn the volume maximum. Turn it up high enough till it makes you bump up the pleasure of the rhythm, and you can feel when you break it down to the instrumental, quintessential in the quality of sound. Pulled over because I bump so loud. Ain't gonna stop now. Try to catch me and I'll ignore your dial. I'm hypnotized by all the lights flashing around with every move. It's so bright, it's automatic. How I raise the status of everyone around. That's why
all right. I love the music. All right, Spitface, are you going to hit the mute button, or are you going to give it a thumbs up? Shout it out.
I'm going to shout it out. I like how she said that she likes to sprinkle a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Sometimes artists, they sprinkling is just mixing everything up. And she has a nice little, she adds a little touch, and that's exactly it. A little touch of this and that to make the song really nice. So I'm shouting it out.
All right. Okay. So that's what you see. Yeah, I'm going to shout it out myself. I thought it was a great song. I can see where. I don't consider that one to be R&B. I think that was more pop to me. But she is influenced by, I can see the different genre, but I'm going to shout it out. So on part 2 of Shout Out, we'll be featuring another performance from Rosalyn. Is that the sound of our favorite underwater friend? Is it time for Flip It?
No one is free. It's water that we and we remember missing a world of water, flying there on under the sea.
All right. Flipper is excited. It's another nice day in Florida. Flipper ready to get on out there and find some tunas. All right, it's time for Flip It, where hosts defend a point and then flip the script and defend the other point of view. The Yankees are a winner in a winner-take-all Game 3 against the Red Sox. We wonder who will advance. Defend. The Yankees will advance. Boston should have beat them when they had the chance. One thing, not being a Yankees fan and not being a Yankees hater, looking at the, looking at Boston, when you got your foot on the team's throat, you got to close it out. And because you let them come back in, and now they, now they on the upswing. Now you scrapping. You in a situation that you didn't think you'd be in, and you did not show your best. So when you faking the funk, more than likely you're gonna lose. So the Yankees, are interesting team this year, and if anybody can get a bit of luck and some hitting at the right time, looks like the Yankees got your number, Red Sox fans. First Lady defend. The Yankees will advance. Their bats have come alive. First Lady, you may be muted.
Yes. Anyway, Spitface, both teams are starting rookie pitchers. Cam Schlitzler for the Yankees and Connolly Early for the Red Sox. Now, unfortunately, it is Game 3, and their starters are very thin. They've been using their starters in the game, going to their bullpen early. So now you got to start these two rookie pitchers. Now, the Yankees bats finally came alive in Game 2. I mean, Aaron Judge, though, he's been playing well in this series. He's like 4-8. And Judge, he hit a game-tying single in the Game 2. And he hit one of the decisive singles to win the series in Game 2. The thing is also, Aaron Boone finally made some right decisions. He made some wrong decisions in Game 1, but now he's making right decisions. He didn't start Chaz Chisholm Jr. the first game, but he started him the second game. And Chisholm himself basically saved that game for the Yankees because I don't know if you remember, he did when I think it was the bases weren't low. There was the Red Sox had guy at first and second, and the guy hit the ball and Chisholm stretched out and stopped the ball from going into the outfield, and he tried to get him at first base, and he saved that run. And then he was able to manufacture the run for them to go, go ahead. So he is one of the main reasons. So Boone finally did something right, and now the Yankee bats are really coming to life. They finally are hitting and doing well, because game one, they was striking out. They just struck out. I mean, that pitcher is striking all the Yankees out. They just was not doing well. So now the Yankees are primed to win this, and, a lot of people are picking the Yankees to win. And one thing, too, Aaron Judge has not hit a home run in this series. So I'm thinking right now we are ready for an Aaron Judge home run. And unfortunately, that rookie, he's going to be knocked out, because I think the Yankee bats are going to be coming to alive for this third game. And like you said, the Red Sox had the Yankees on the ropes in game two, and they let them come back. And now it's there for the Yankees to take it. And I just don't see Boston winning this now. The Yankees are coming strong. That's all I'm saying.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, this is flipping where we have to flip the script. So Boston will repeat game one, and the Yankees go down. And First Lady, the Boston Red Sox do not have Mason Miller, who just threw a pitch clocked at 104.5 miles per hour. He was throwing the fire. I'm just going. I looked at some of the clips, and you could see the batters just like, what is this thing? I mean, it was just like the man was throwing the fire. Now the Red Sox don't have that, and the Yankees and the Red Sox are both putting in rookie pitchers and and they're going to rely on, the depth of their relievers. And looking at that situation, all bets are off. And it will be a battle of the bats. And it will be a pitcher's duel. And the Yankees should have been out of this. The Yankees should have already won. And they did. And they found a way to come through. But in this kind of scenario where you got two rookie pitchers, everything has equaled out. That just balances everything out. Batters on both sides. And given the Yankees let it get this far, they're going down. First Lady defend, Boston will find a way to win.
Well, the Yankees, again, I think the Yankees, they crumble under pressure. Even the coach, he's going to revert back to making bad decisions. Yeah, they do have the rookie pitchers, but the Yankees, again, they had a great game two with their bats, but again, they've been missing a lot of pitches. They've been striking out. I mean, they swing. They're like wild swingers. They go after bad pitches. I just think right now their pitching has not been the best either. And Boston pitching has been better than the Yankees pitching in this series. So it's just a matter of the Boston Red Sox playing their game, and the Yankees, because they're in New York, they have so much stress on. I'm so happy that Aaron Judge is having a good series because, you know, he really has not done well in postseason. And unfortunately, I think, you know, that pressure gets to him. And I have a feeling with these Yankee players, the pressure of being in New York, the pressure of winning. You know, the Yankees haven't won World Series, and it's been a long 8-9 years. I forget how many years it's been, but it's been a long time. And I mean, they come to the dance every year. They get to the playoffs, but they've had early exit. So why is it going to be? Is it going to be any different? No. The Red Sox believe they are the better team. They played as the better team so far in 2 games. They just let game 2 get away from them. So the Yankee bats, again, are going to be quiet. They're going to strike out. And I think the Red Sox will definitely win this. So it's going to be a battle, but now the Red Sox are going to win.
All right, First Lady, we've heard both sides, and we flipped it. And over to you for more flipping.
Okay. The Cleveland Browns have benched Joe Flacco and named Dylan Gabriel the starter. We wonder if Gabriel falters, will they give Shador a shot at starting? Spitface defend. Gabriel is on a short leash. He stumbles. Shador will be under center. Defend.
First Lady, first off, we talking about the Cleveland Browns and a quarterback. They just don't make good decisions when it comes to quarterbacks and who should play, who should be the backup, who should be third string, what quarterback should we trade for? You know, this is a team that was in the wilderness when it came to playoff appearances for many a year, many a season. And they finally get a quarterback who has them be competitive, has them actually winning records. And what do? They kick him to the curb for a possibility because they saw such great talent. There's an old saying, don't change racehorses in the middle of the race. And virtually that's what they were building their team. They were rising. And it was starting to, you could feel it. And what do? They make a crazy deal, which ends up being one of the worst deals in NFL history. But I digress. Gabriel, he's on a short leash simply because that's how the Cleveland Browns are. He is on a super short leash. Now, the Cleveland knows they're going nowhere fast. Given they're going nowhere fast, well, why did they even bench Flacco? Hey, you might as well ride with him, let Gabriel and Shador, see what, learn the game. And then somewhere later down the season, when the fans have just about ready to tear up the stadium seats, then go ahead and put Gabriel. But right now, you acting like there's going to be some hope for this team. So Gabriel's on a short leash, and given that you didn't start him at the beginning of the season, you bringing him in now. And the Browns got a heavy schedule. I could see in 2-3 games y'all pulling him out and then throwing Shador in, to see what he can do. Well, we're gonna try him out. So First Lady, Gabriel on a short leash. Short leash.
Real short. Okay, he's on a short leash. Yeah, I mean, it was obvious it was time for either one of those rookies to come in. And they decided to go with Gabriel because obviously he was picked ahead of Shador. Shador was the third. Well, actually, Shador was the fourth quarterback until they got rid of Kenny Pickett. So, unfortunately, the depth chart didn't change for Shador, but he he still got a shot. And Gabriel, this is his time, and he definitely something needed to be done because Flacco was just looking so pitiful. He had no mobility. He was just putting himself in a difficult situation. And they don't have that offensive line right now to help Flacco. So you got to put a little bit more mobile quarterback in. And that's why they made the change to go to Dylan Gilbert. But this is a rookie. And many people thought Shedeur should have been drafted ahead of Dylan Gabriel. So, he's going to have to prove that he can do it. Now, the thing is, how long will they rely on Gabriel, knowing that you got Shedeur lurking in the background there? And so Gabriel, he's going to be able to play, obviously, this next game and see how he does. I'm not surprised if he does really, really poorly that they don't pull him in the game and put Shedeur in. That's how, because, this is a big deal for this rookie, and this is time to shine. But sometimes everybody's not ready for the bright lights. We know Shedeur is ready for the bright lights. He's been in the bright lights since he's been in the, a quarterback in college. And Gabriel, there's even what bright lights he's been in. So I'm saying it's really, really short. You say you're giving him a couple of games. I'm giving him the game. If he don't do well in that first half, I believe Shedeur will be in the second half. That's what I'm saying. That's how short this leash is. It's shorter than you think, Spitface. All right, let's flip it. Spitface, defend. Gabriel is the Browns' #1 pick. Barring injury, he starts the rest of the season. Defend.
All right, well, Dylan Gabriel is their #1 pick. And he was chosen ahead of Shedeur Sanders. And for them to put him in, and whether he stumbles, fumbles, bumbles, and then pull him out and put in Shedeur, that would be a major, major deal. It really would. Because it would mean like you guys, it would be saying Shedeur should have been picked ahead of Dylan Gabriel. And why didn't you do that? And they don't want that to happen. Right now, Dylan is the starter. But the #2 is Joe Flacco. See, they didn't go, what it should have been was at the beginning of the season, it should have been rookie, and Joe Flacco as the emergency quarterback if everything goes wrong. He's the guy you can bring in for some steadiness, whatever. But that it should have been letting them battle it out in the beginning. But they didn't do that. And they didn't do that because they said, Dylan is my man. And unless he gets hurt, they're going to just ride with him. They're going to treat him as the #1 pick, the future of the franchise, and they'll let it play on out. And they're just hoping that they can get past this year, finally get that jail money that's been locked up with Deshaun Watson off the books, and they can, get a breath of fresh air. But Shedeur, let me just say a little something. You don't want to start for the Browns. Have you looked at their offensive line? It sucks, brother. You don't want to start for these fools. Do you see what they do with quarterbacks? Look, Shedeur, just keep being a mellow fellow and a team player so that you can get traded. That's right, so that you can get traded to somebody. Because there are some teams who, I'll just say, they have a couple of quarterbacks who are a little creaky, they still playing well, but they've been beat up, bruised, been around, and they getting a little long at the tooth. And maybe having a young guy come in with some potential, and they don't mind doing a little grooming, might be a perfect fit for your demeanor. But you don't want to start. Gabriel, stay upright, Gabriel. Stay upright. So Shador got to start. So that's what I'm saying, First Lady. He will all the way to the end of this miserable season for the Brown fans.
Yeah, he's going to be. Yeah, the thing is, like you said, Spitface, it's very simple. It's about math. Dylan Gabriel is their number one pick. So why do you think Shador Sanders will be given an opportunity? They picked a number one player as Dylan Gabriel as a quarterback. Now, should he have been starting from the beginning? That's debatable. You do have Joe Flacco, so you want to see if you can, how Flacco will do. And, okay. So, but now they made the change, and it was the right move because Flacco needed to sit down. Now, the interesting thing, though, you would think Shador Sanders would move up in the depth chart. But he didn't move up in the depth chart. He is behind Flacco because Gabriel is number one. Flacco moved to number two. Shador is still number three. So there was no potential of them even putting Shador over Dylan Gabriel. He can't even get over Flacco. If something happens to Gabriel, they're not going to put Shador in. They're going to put Flacco in because he's second on the depth chart. That says a lot. Now, is that right or wrong? Oh, I think it's wrong. I really think they need to retire Flacco and put him on the curve right now. Put him in the trunk somewhere because they need to see what they have in their young quarterback. They're doing it with Gabriel, but for some reason, they got Shador still as the third quarterback. So, again, this is a numbers game, and it's all about the numbers. And right now, Shador is number three, not number two nor number one. So, Gabriel's going to be their quarterback for the rest of the season because they're going to get him ready for next year. That's the main thing. Next year is get this young fella some experience. And now whether they keep Shador or not, that's going to be the number one question. Personally, I think they should keep him. And, because to me, I think he should have been moved to number two, but he's not. But Gabriel is the Browns' number one quarterback. Even barring injuries, he's still going to start the rest of the season. But even if he gets injured, Shador is not going to be there. It's Joe Flacco. All right, Spitface, please take us to break.
All right, Shador. I got my fingers crossed, Shador, that you never have to start for them fools, but save your body for a real team. On the other side of the break, we have another performance from Rosalyn on Shout Out Part 2. Please keep your ears glued to those speakers.
Welcome back. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout-out from the crew. Spitface, over to you.
Okay, on the second part of shout-out, we are featuring another track from Rosalyn. You don't want to hear this from I'll just say, someone you trying to hook up with. Let's hear anyone else but you.
But little did I know, you're the one who knows all of my business that you share. Anyone else, I'd move along. But because it's you, the hurt is so strong. I'd no longer be the same. Even if we talk and talk it all day, I can manage what others may say. I can't go back. I can't go back and change their ways. It don't hurt like that except for anyone. I can manage what others may say. I can't go back and change their ways. 'Cause it don't hurt like that except for anyone else but someone you love. No, it's not that easy. It's not so easy when you don't have no good to show. You don't know how it's been so long since you've taken time to give the positive good, the negative should. It should make you want to turn things around. I will give you help if you want it. I'll be the first, to start it. I'll be happier and it will make my life so much easier to manage. I can't manage what others may say. I can't go back and change the ways. It don't hurt like that except for can't go back and change their ways. It don't hurt like that except for anyone else but you. I can manage. I can't manage what others may say. I can't go back and change the way. It don't hurt like that except for I can manage what others may say. I can't go back and change their ways. It don't hurt like that except for anyone else but you. Nobody else but you. It don't hurt like that except for anyone else but you.
All right, that was a different spin. First lady, what's the verdict? Is anyone else but you getting a shout out of the mute button?
Oh, I'm shouting out. That's the R&B in her coming out there. Yes, definitely shout it out. Like the song.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm giving it a shout out as well. And she has some a lot of talent, a lot of variety. I like her, you Rosalyn. Go, girl, go. Mm-hmm. Well, that is the end of shout out for this week. You could check out Rosalyn on the Old Grumpy Radio Network. If you would like to be heard or have any comments, please send your emails and tracks to talent@oldgrumpyradio.com. First lady, over to you.
Well, it's time for the NFL picks. We just completed week 3, and these are the results. Well, Spitface, seems like DizzieMac and me, we had a horrible week. I ended up with minus 300,000 points. DizzieMac ended up with a minus 150,000 points. Spitface, you had 350,000 points. So that brings our total through week 3. I'm at a negative 200,000 points. DizzieMac is at a negative 150,000 points. And you have 300,000 points. All right, let's get to the current picks. These, again, winners and losers with 50,000 points. 49ers versus the Rams. Well, I've definitely got the Rams. They're at home, number 1. And number 2, Brock Purdy. They already announced this morning that Brock Purdy is not playing in the game. So I'm going, they said, what's his name? Mac Jones will be playing. So we know what he did with the Patriots. So I'm going with the Rams. We'll get DizzieMac picks. Spitface, who you going with?
This Mac Jones has actually won a couple of games for the 49ers, but I don't think his streak is gonna stay alive. And the 49ers just got too many injuries. I'm going with the Rams.
All right. Texans versus Ravens. We already talked about this is a must-win for the Ravens. Spitface, who do you have?
Darn it. Let me flip a coin. Ordinarily, I would take Ravens just because they're at home. But right now, the Ravens are kind of as bad as they need the game. I think there's too many injuries and a suspect defense. I'm going to go with the Texans.
The question is Lamar going to play? You know what? I'm going to go with the Ravens. I think they're going to. I think what's going to happen. Derrick Henry they're going to run the ball out. They're going to run Derrick Henry to death. That's what's going to happen. You're talking about Cooper Rush. They're gonna run Derrick Henry. So I'm gonna go with the Ravens. All right, Dolphins versus the Panthers. Oh boy, was last week an aberration for the Dolphins? This week, the Panthers. The Panthers. Did the Panthers kick? They beat up on the Falcons one week, and then they looked dismal the next week. Oh boy! I'm gonna go. A part of me wants to go with the Panthers. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. Spitface.
I'm gonna roll with the Dolphins. I'll say their squad has more talent.
Yes. All right. The Giants versus the Saints. This is an easy one. All right, Spitface, who are you going with?
Ordinarily, I'd go with the home team, but you know what? I'm going to go with the Giants. That they're going to be on a 2-game winning streak with their new quarterback.
That's right. What's his name? Dart? I forgot his first name, but Dart.
Dart.
What's his name?
I just got the Dart myself. So.
Yeah, I know. That's all I know is Dart, too. All right. Yeah, I'm going with the Giants. The Saints are probably the worst team in the whole league. I would say so. The Saints are pathetic. All right. Cowboys versus the Jets. Wow. Cowboys versus the Jets. Dude, the Jets need a win in the worst type of. Okay. I went with the Jets against the Dolphins. I thought the Jets were going to win that game. And they really should have won the game. They just had a lot of fumbles, miscues, everything else under the sun. I am going to go with the Jets. I don't know why, but I think they are going to finally win the game. And who do you have, Spitface?
Yeah, Dak is playing out his mind. And the Cowboys ain't got no defense. and CeeDee Lamb is out. I'm going to roll with the Jets. The Jets need a win, and they have enough talent to actually get a win. So Justin Fields needs a win. I'm going to go with the Jets.
Okay. All right. Moving along, the Broncos versus the Eagles. Now, they said, the Eagles. Broncos versus the Eagles. All right, Spitface, who do you have?
I almost feel like the Eagles, like you feel with Patrick Mahomes. Don't bet against them. I can see the Broncos stealing because they're a good enough team where they can steal the game. But I got Eagles at home. Got to go with them.
Yeah, fly, Eagles, fly. But this is upset alert. I see the Broncos could upset the Eagles. But everybody been talking about, the Eagles, they should have been, they should have lost this game. They should have lost this game. If this was done, it's this way. It's. So, but I'm going to fly with the Eagles. I'm flying with the Eagles. All right. Buccaneers versus the Seahawks. Let me see. Both of them lost last week. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers.
Yeah, you got two good teams going up against each other.
Oh, wait a minute. Can I change my mind? I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. I don't know. I had the Raiders in my mind with the Seahawks. That's what, why did I think the PK? No, I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. I'm thinking the Raiders. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't interrupt your flow, but I want to change my pick. Seahawks.
Okay. All right. Actually, these are two good teams, and but I'm looking for the Bucks to steal one on the road. Plus, they have a good road record, so I'm going to go with the Bucks.
Okay. I had them too, but no, I think the Seahawks are going to be good. Commanders versus the Chargers. The question, the Commanders versus the Chargers. All right, Spitface, who do you have?
I can see the Chargers losing this game, but I'm going to go with the Chargers at home.
I was trying to see is Jalen Daniels playing. Jaden Daniels, not Jalen. Jaden Daniels, is he playing? I don't think so. I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
I think he's like. Yeah, I think he's like whatever the questionable, not out, been ruled out, but hasn't been ruled in.
All right, I'm going with the Chargers. Okay, Patriots versus the Bills. Spitface, who do you have?
I'm going with the Patriots for the upset.
Ooh, really? No, I'm going with the Bills. I'm going with the Bills. They're home, and I'm going with the Bills. All right. Chiefs versus the Jaguars. Jaguars have been playing well. They're home, but I'm going with them Chiefs. I'm going with Patrick Mahomes. Who you got, Spitface?
I'm going with the Jaguars at home.
All right. All right, we got our over, under, and push. These are worth 100,000 points. All right. Spitface, Dak Prescott, 3 passing touchdowns. What do you have? Over, under, or push? You're going with push. You're going with push. Who are they playing? I just said they were playing.
The Jets.
The Jets. No, the Jets defense has been horrible. The Jets defense has really been horrible. But you know what? I think Aaron Lynn is led into them, cussed them out. I am going to go with under. Bo Nix, 2 passing touchdowns. I'm going to go with push. What do you have, Spitface?
I'm going push.
Okay. Geno Smith, 1 interception. Oh. He had, 3 last time? I think he had 3 interceptions last game.
Yes, he did. Lately, he's been an intercepted machine.
Well, you know what? I'm going to go with under since he had 3 last time. I just don't think he's going to get another. He had to work on those interceptions. So I'm going to say under. What do you have, Spitface?
I'm going to go under.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got to pay attention to that. 3 interceptions. My goodness. All right, Spitface. Justin Herbert, 3 touchdowns.
I'm going push.
You're going to push. And who did we say they're playing? I got to see who they're playing. The Commanders. 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns. I'm going to go, you say push. I'm going to go with under. He'll have 2 touchdowns. I'm going under. Derrick Henry, 100 rushing yards. I'm going with over because, like I said, they're going to run the treads off of Derrick Henry with Cooper Rush as the quarterback. All right, Spitface, who do you have? I mean, what do you have? Over, under, or push? Derrick Henry, 100 rushing yards.
I'm going to go under.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he hasn't been making that mark, but I just think if Lamar's not playing, they got to run Derrick Henry. All right, Chiefs Jags, 60 combined points. All right, Spitface, what do you have? 60 combined points. Over? Over.
Oh. Yep.
So that means it's either going to be over 30-30 apiece, or I'm gonna go under. I think even though I don't think it's going to be, it'll be a high scoring game, but I think it's going to be one team. I don't see the Jaguars getting 30. So I think the Chiefs defense has definitely improved. So I'm definitely going under. All right. So we'll see how we do with those choices. All right, Spitface. What is your top story to watch this week?
After Monday's game, which NFL coaches are on the hot seat?
All right, my top story to watch is basically the fallout of that WNBA storyline. I just wanted to continue to see what the fallout is. Kathy Engelbert going to be able to stay in her job? Or, I'm looking for Adam Silver to come out and say something. So that's what I'm talking about. The WNBA has put people on notice. All right. This is Cheryl Smith, the First Lady of Sports Talk, and Spitface. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. See you next week.